evening. My name is John Anthony Burchall. I'm a Christian pastor, and I do not believe in God. Good evening. I am John Anthony Burchall. I'm a Christian pastor, an ordained Baptist minister, and I do not believe in God. My disbelief in God starts right at the beginning. My people were stolen from the continent of Africa, West Africa, mainly Sierra Leone and Ghana, brought to a British colony called Bermuda. The ability of our slave masters to enslave us depended on them owning the real estate in our brain. To get us to depart with our resources, our land, our treasure, and our labor, they inculcated us with a religion called Christianity. A fundamental premise of that religious tradition is that there is something redemptive in suffering. That there is something redemptive in suffering, and the next life is the life that you are rehearsing for. So whatever happens in this life, if you suffer tremendously, your reward will be that much greater in the pie, in the sky, by and by. That is the religious tradition that was given to my people by religious clerics of the Anglican or Church of England persuasion. We were taught Paul's injunction that slaves shall obey their masters. This is the tradition that I was inculcated with. The original traditions of my people, the original religious traditions of my people, I knew nothing about. I have a name, John Anthony Burchall. Burchall comes from my slave master Peter, who arrived in Bermuda in the 1730s as a shipwright for the British Navy to build ships for Her Majesty's Navy. He arrived in Bermuda with his wife Ruth, and he also obtained for himself a slave that he called Jane. She was from Brazil and a mix of Pequot and Akan from Ghana. With Jane, he had one son, David Benjamin Burchall, who then had 15 children, the seventh of which was Edward. Edward had Walter Lawrence. Walter Lawrence had Colvin. Colvin had We were inculcated with the religion of Christianity, not by choice, but by oppressive fiat. As I grew up, I could never understand how a God who professed to be of love could also preside over the wholesale enslavement of an entire group of people and sit with his hands folded in heaven as we prayed our prayers for freedom, and he did absolutely nothing. We were taught that with suffering comes redemption. And my people have suffered. We have suffered and we have suffered. And there's been nothing redemptive in that suffering. And so as I have grown, I understand the religion of Christianity to be like skin. It's not something I chose to be in any more than I chose to be black, any more than I chose to be from Bermuda, any more than I chose the DNA that is in my body, a mixture of Wampanoag, Pequot, Akan, and Sierra Leone's. None of those things I chose. Christianity is just like that. So when I became old enough not to attend church anymore, I became very curious about this thing called the Bible, how it was put together, who put it together. And what I discovered is that the same people who enslaved my people, brought us from Africa in chains, were the same people that gave us this book, that selected from over 300 different books, the 27 books of the New Testament and the 39 books of the Old Testament, specifically to inculcate the idea that we the whites are the ones who rule, we are the masters, and you are the slaves, and that is ordained by God. Once I discovered that, I knew that the God that my Christian masters taught me is not a God I could believe in. But Christianity is mine, like my skin, like my race, and like my DNA. That is how I am a Christian, ordained Baptist minister who does not believe.